Hello, good morning. I hope this video finds you well. I'm recording this video as a follow-up to yesterday's video where I mentioned this article on The Guardian, which I highly recommend. I left the link in the post. An article that talks about nervous system deregulation. How many of our symptoms today, let's say chronic stress, anxiety, fatigue, even digestive issues, many of these symptoms, or many times these symptoms are not caused by any illnesses, but precisely by this nervous system deregulation, which is a condition where the part of the nervous system that is apt to deal with survival, with being on a survival mode, is constantly activated or overactivated. And this, let's say, overwhelms and overruns the part of our nervous system that works on our recuperation, on rest, even on digestion, precisely as means to recuperation and even rest. So when we are constantly, let's say, in a survival mode, we are responding to everything with stress and anxiety. And so this becomes a chronic condition that then generates other problems. So insofar as our, let's say, systematic and chronic response to what we experience in the world becomes part of our personalities, of the way we are, let's say, then the healing of our nervous system can't really be done by force or an instantaneous healing, because it'll be like instantaneously changing our personalities. So of course we can say, yes, it comes from our nervous system, not really from our personalities, but insofar as we are dealing with the world through our nervous system and through this deregulation, it becomes part of our personality. So our chronic stress, our chronic anxiety becomes part of the way we present ourselves to ourselves and to the world, the way we relate to ourselves and to the world. So this is why I think it becomes a bit a part of our personality. So the healing of our nervous system will translate into changes in our personality. So this is why I think it doesn't really make sense looking for a miracle pill and this to bring back harmony to our nervous system, because, as I mentioned, it would be like an instant change of our personality. Now, this is not anything to be read as anything against conventional medicine, because certainly conventional medicine is very important and has its place, and we shouldn't, let's say, confuse things. So I also mentioned that insofar as we are talking about a systematic change of the way we relate to things, this is why I mentioned that we are talking about our personalities, even if it is fostered, let's say, by our nervous system. So insofar as we are to bring this deep change, then the regulation of our nervous system must have to be gradual itself. So it must have to be a systematic, gradual healing. The author in the article, she mentions that precisely this condition, this deregulation, having not a miracle pill, opens a way, opens a path, opens a purpose for what we call alternative healing. And so, of course, I proposed crystal bed therapy as one of these alternative healings. Even because the crystal beds, they act they act in ourselves, in our bodies, in our minds, in our emotional body, through the chakras. And the chakras, they're a system of transformation of prana energy, of universal energy, into life energy, let's say into physical energy, into emotional energy, into mental energy, into spiritual energy. So, and all these faculties, the spiritual faculty, the mental faculty, the emotional faculty and the physical faculty, they have their correlation in the nervous system, because it wouldn't make sense that something so pervasive as the nervous system would not have a correspondence in our spiritual being, in our mental being, in our emotional being, and in our physical being. So crystal bed therapy proposes to act on our nervous system through these energy points, let's call them, called the chakras. They are linked also to the functions of the nervous system. So when the nervous system is out of balance, the chakras are out of balance. When the chakras are out of balance, the nervous system is out of balance. And sometimes we hear how, oh, there's this, some person goes, analyzes the chakras, and there's this one chakra that is out of balance, or there's these two chakras that are out of balance. I don't think it's possible just to have one chakra out of balance. So I have one chakra out of balance and all the other chakras are in harmony. No, I don't think that's possible. What we can say is that, so I think the unbalance will be always on all the chakras. But what we could say is that unbalance is brought about specifically by this one chakra or this other chakra. So let's say that I have the solar plexus chakra out of balance. So I will have all the chakras out of balance according to the specific dysregulation of this chakra. So I have the heart chakra out of balance. So all the other chakras will be out of balance. They'll be out of balance. They'll be deregulated according to the specific deregulation of the heart chakra. So a deregulated chakra is just a way of deregulating all the other chakras. So there's no one chakra regulated and all the other chakras are shining bright. So in my view, this means that there's space to work on all the chakras as the crystal bed does. Because once all the chakras are deregulated, even if it's through a specific imbalance of this or that chakra, then each chakra's deregulation will have its own inertia. It's not just it can pop back into harmony just by working on this one single chakra. Once they are all out of regulation, then all of them need regulation. And the crystal bed precisely regulates all the chakras. And this is why I think it's quite useful. And also, the crystal bed therapy, all the lights they are and the crystals, so the lights go through the crystals, and it's interesting because the crystal is a highly organized object. So that means that the energy that comes through the light and the color is then highly organized by the crystal. So the energy that the chakras are receiving is a highly organized, harmonized energy. So, which is reenacting precisely what we need and what we are looking for our nervous system, a highly organized nervous system. So, also we can see how the lights they go in this rhythmic way. So it's a constant rhythmic sequence. So this is what we are also looking for our nervous system, that is constant, that is in a constant harmonic predictable rhythm. So in a way, the crystal bed theory already enacts what we need for our nervous system. So if you have a crystal bed, my opinion is that you should use it in a systematic and constant way. So not just the one time every so often, but no, every week. Oh, I can do one time a week, so let's just have this one time a week rhythm. I can use 2 times a week, so let's get into this rhythm. Let's reenact in our crystal bed sessions, in our crystal bed healing, what we are looking for our nervous system. So, and if you are thinking about getting a crystal bed, then you should know that to harvest its benefits, you must use it consistently. So 1 time a week, 2 times a week, but we need consistency. So that's where we can reap our benefits and put our nervous systems back into harmony and bring more, I guess, more tranquility to our lives, a tranquility through which we can access and activate the higher faculties of our different systems: the physical system, the emotional system, the mental system, and of course the king of it all, the spirit. So I'll see you around, and all the best.